Current finance for urban housing and infrastructure is inadequate both in terms of capital resources and of lending policies when compared with the types of income and borrowing capacity of the large majority of Nigeria's urban populations. But it's been said that lack of funds alone is not a root cause of poor infrastructure and services. It is rather a symptom of more fundamental problems which include instability, distorted economic policies, and difficulties of governance. The mobilization of public and private funds for urban infrastructure depends, in the long run, on the alleviation of these problems. The impact of urban growth on housing and infrastructure is enormous. Demographic expansion of cities has created and will continue to create serious challenges in terms of affordable housing, water supply, transportation, waste collection and disposal, and controlling air and water pollution. The key problems faced by Nigerians include very rapid, uncontrolled growth of urban informal settlements, prevalence of substandard and overcrowded urban housing, inadequate basic urban services, and infrastructure provision, declining urban livelihood options, and increasing crime rates. Professor Akin Mabogunje is well known for his contributions to the development of Nigeria through his works in community and urban development, housing infrastructural development, and other things. He joins me on View from the Top today to discuss this and more, and I'm truly delighted. Thank you very much, Professor Mabogunje, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us. Here's an abridged version of my guest's very long biodata before we start our conversation. Professor Akin Mabogunje was born on 18 October 1931 in Kano. He got a Bachelor of Arts degree general from the University College, now University of Ibadan, and later another bachelor's degree in geography, a master's degree, and a PhD also in geography from the University of London. Professor Mabogunje began his career as a lecturer at the University of Ibadan, where he was the first Nigerian professor of geography. He went on to become a visiting professor in other reputable institutions around the world in countries as diverse as United States, United Kingdom, Sweden, Brazil, and China. To date, he has received honorary doctorate degrees from 6 universities home and abroad and several academic awards, including the Nigerian National Order of Merit Award, the highest national award for contribution to the academic life of the country. He has also received honorary fellowships of 8 professional bodies, including the Nigerian Geographical Association and the Nigerian Academy of Engineering. Professor Mabogunje was at various times Chairman First Interstate Merchant Bank and Chairman Unity Bank, and was Chancellor Bells University from 2007 to 2015. He is a recipient of the National Honors, Commander of the Order of the Niger, and Commander of the Federal Republic. Professor Mabogunje, what are the challenges in redesigning our urban areas? And can we ever find the political will and the resources to do the needful?
That's a very thoughtful question, because the real problem is that the Constitution of Nigeria does not recognize the concept of urban. And so when it had to do, because all the problems you've mentioned are tied to urban governance. Now, the history of urbanization worldwide is that when people agglomerate, it's a lot of energy, but they want to do it their own way. Now, what we did in Nigeria in 1978, by claiming that we were doing a local government reform, is the beginning of all our problems. Because all we then did was take Nigeria, as big as it is, and divide it into 299 areas. And we said that's local government. The basis for that division was to claim that no local government can be smaller than 160,000 people or be bigger than 800,000 people. So where we have small towns and cities, and these are towns which in their own right have established their secondary school, have done a lot for themselves. We said they're too small, we merged them. In Lagos, there's really nobody looking overall at the situation. Because, you see, if somebody were to challenge Lagos, that you can't go on tapping that underground water. There's nobody, there's none of those tiny local government, 800,000, that can fund what it takes. You see, we've tapped most of the water from Ogun State. I think we have 3 points on Ogun State now. In New York, they went 400 miles to bring water into the mega city there. We would have to tap water from Osun. I called attention to some of the collapse of buildings, which is not necessarily bad engineering. But if you tap in water from underground, there comes a time when, for some area, you create what do we call it? A sort of bubble in which the infrastructure then collapses. Now, so you have the problem that until we give in the US, even if you just 4,000, you even have a mayor. In 1969, tampered with a major constitutional provision